Welcome back, Wargamers. We are back with another edition, and today I wanted to test out the new 40K combat roster that came out last week from Games Workshop. If you haven't heard of it yet, this is the free online tool for building your combat rosters for your next Warhammer 40K battle. And I want to preface with the fact that I have never used this tool yet, so you're going to see me walk through it, and we're going to try to build out an army list for my Adeptus Custodes using what's available in there. So you'll see whether the system is intuitive to somebody who understands their army and their codex, and also find out if it's got points or power levels, whatever's in there. I have a feeling that it's going to be based mostly on power level, which is something I don't personally play with, and I would find frustrating if it doesn't have the points option in there, considering they're built into the codex. So let's go ahead and dive in and let's get into that. So to get there, first and foremost, you'll need to go to either games-workshop.com or you'll need to head over directly to the Warhammer community site, which is warhammer-community.com. Up here in the upper left, so let's go ahead and switch so you can see my screen, you will find the War Scroll Builder, which came out first, and that's for Age of Sigmar armies, and then you'll find Warhammer 40,000 Combat Roster right here, and you'll go ahead and click on that, and it will open it up. So I'll go ahead and turn off my camera so we can see more of the screen while we're doing this. And then here what we will going to do is figure out how do we even create an army in the first place. So let's go ahead and choose a faction. I guess you have to highlight it's Imperium, it's Adeptus Custodes. I know I say Custodes sometimes. I've been corrected to say Custodes. Someone told me it's not Adeptus Astartes, it's Adeptus Astartes, so fair enough. And then here we find out that we need to, well, I guess one thing that's interesting is it doesn't let you choose whether you want to, what type of battle force you want to field so you can get your command point bonuses. So I find that frustrating at first, but let's go ahead and choose some HQ, and I'll go ahead and choose a shield captain on Dawn Eagle Jet Bike, because why not? I'm part of the frickin' Adeptus Custodes, and I will take the strongest character on the battlefield. Let's go get some troops. So we're going to need to get a few Custode guards. I'll make them units of 5. We'll go ahead and put them on the tabletop. And let's see here. Definitely want to take some of my Alaris Custodians. 3 of them. That sounds good enough to me. Let's go ahead and add a Venerable Contemptor Dreadnought, because we've got quite a few of those, especially from the Forge World ones. Do we have the option to duplicate these? No. Let me right click, just nope. Alright. In Adeptus Custodes, Contemptor Dreadnought. So let's take a moment. Also, I want to thank some of the new subscribers since the last video. There's been a few of you guys, so let's take a moment to thank Christopher Myers for joining the channel. Rodrigo Bello Olivias, thank you very much, sir. Von Wolf 1 Asterix, thank you, sir. And who else did we pick up here? Ji Zhengyu, thank you, and that might be it. So I think we picked up Rio Race, Maxime Valieres. So we picked up about 6 of you guys since the last video, and I really appreciate that. It keeps me motivated to keep producing these videos for you guys here. So let's see how this works out. I've certainly got a lot more Adeptus Custodes back there on the shelf than what we've got here, but that would mean that I am sitting at 16 model, 70 power level is what I believe. Yep, so it's giving me model count with the little Space Marine helmets, power level with the octagon there. Let's see the heavy support choices. Nope, not taking a Land Raider. And Virtus Praetors, no. So let's go ahead and see what else we can throw into this list. Let's throw in some more Custodian Guards. We're trying to bring this up to a 100-point list. We got 16 points left to spend there. So let's throw in Trajan Valoris. That was fantastic, hitting the back button on there. But you can kind of see where this combat roster leaves a lot to be desired. First and foremost, I feel like it doesn't give you an adequate option to be able to select war gear. So if we go back in here and we go grab the Custodes and we go and take, let's say, a troop choice of Custodian Guard. There's many ways that we can equip these and options we can add to that, but at least in the codex. But if I come in to the combat roster, it really just lets me add model counts and power levels. So this is a highly inadequate army builder, although I can imagine that this is probably fairly easy to use on the good old mobile device, and maybe that's what it's built for, but I still feel like they could greatly improve this if they give you an option to be able to build this with the point system and different war gear options and things like that. That would certainly put it in line with some of the other things out there, like, I don't know, the free Battlescribe app from battlescribe.net. But there's certainly many other ones out there, people like Quartermaster and some of the other premium roster builders. This definitely fails to deliver on that, especially for Warhammer 40K, which I feel has a much more scrutinizing player base than things like Age of Sigmar that I see people being much more casual and more hobby-like with. Warhammer 40K is just so super competitive, and most of the events out there that I've been to and seen have been points-based and not power level-based, mainly because of the semi-brokenness that you can exploit out of a power level-based option by fully loading out every single person in the army with every piece of war gear possible, because you feel like you already paid for it. It's like getting the all-you-can-eat buffet. You're going to eat more than what you should eat and what you feel comfortable eating because you've already paid for it. And I feel like the power level is the Chinese all-you-can-eat buffet, whereas getting the points is more like going to Panda Express, where you don't want to necessarily add the egg rolls onto your side of your entree because you realize it's going to cost you another $3.29 or something like that for the side of egg rolls. So that's just my side note and my 2 cents on what goes on in Combat Roster. Going back to the Games Workshop, we've got some of the pre-orders for Death Watch. Of course, there's a special edition codex, the standard codex coming out here. Let's go ahead and switch over to the US version of the site so that way we get accurate pricing. Comment below where you guys are from. I notice a lot of people with what seems like foreign names and things like that subscribing lately. I'm based here in the US out of Arizona. I'd like to hear where you guys are based out of, so drop that in the comments below. And if you like these types of videos where I review things related to the War Games hobby, hit that like button. Show your support, because what it does is it gives out signals to YouTube that you like this type of video, and that'll start to suggest my channel to people who are searching for similar types of video. So one thing I've noticed here is that, yes, we do have a repackaging of Watch Captain Artemis, so I don't expect him to be any different than the version that we saw before. But here we've got Deathwatch Primaris Intercessors, and what I was looking for was whether the Deathwatch Intercessors and the Primaris Marines, or the Primaris Scale Marines in general, really had anything different to them than what we saw previously with the Tactical Marines. And unfortunately, it looks like all you're getting here is a box of the Combat Squad Intercessors. Or actually, it's a 10-man squad, so you're getting a full squad of Intercessors for what would normally be $60. And then they're charging you the full $12.50 for the Death Watch sprue from Tactical Marines. So if you can manage to pick up quite a few of these tactical sprues on your own, you might be able to save some money or repurpose some of the existing Primaris Marines and Tactical Marines that you have. Same goes for the Deathwatch Primaris Apothecary. He's normally $35 if he was just a regular Space Marine Apothecary, but then they're going ahead and charging you an extra $12.50 just for that sprue, so you're paying grossly way too much. If you've got one leftover shoulder pad, just one tiny leftover shoulder pad from a tactical squad or what have you, just buy the regular Primaris Apothecary, you'll save yourself $12.50. So that's my 2 cents on your $12.50, but we can totally expect that the same thing will come out with possibly dedicated boxes for Hellblasters, and then other sorts of units that are really just repurposes and an excuse to sell you the Deathwatch sprue. And if we take a look back at the Deathwatch sprue, we've got a number of different shoulder pads on here. If we want to count them up, I think we've got like 12 or 13. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so there's 12 of them on there. And then you've got some alternative heads and symbols and things like that. So really, with the Primaris 10 Intercessor Primaris Marines, you're going to have 2 additional shoulder pads remaining, of which you could use for your characters. So just keep that in mind. Same thing will happen if you buy some of the smaller boxes and you want to put those shoulder pads onto one of the other army units out there, like the Inceptors or Aggressors. I don't know if they'll fit on Aggressors, but I would hope that they would come out with shoulder pads specifically for those units, so that way you could give them a good Deathwatch theme, since it apparently is really just a silver arm and a shoulder pad. So we'll cut this video short here, close to the 10-minute mark, and we look forward to making some more videos for you here in the coming days. There should be a Warhammer TV episode out tomorrow from the Warhammer community, of which we're hoping brings with it some good news. I've heard that Harlequin's Codex is on the horizon and might be the next Codex up for pre-order, so we'll wait to see some confirmation on that, and then diving into what makes Harlequins so unique in the Warhammer 40K universe. Stay tuned to Budget Wargamer for some more great hobby videos. Thanks.